Welcome back. Time now for a weekly look at the best TV shows and films with our Backstage podcast team, comprising of Bethany Minelle. There she is. Morning, morning.
Morning.
We're going to kick off with It's a Sin. I had a look at this trail last night and it looks amazing.
Do you seriously think there's an illness that only kills gay men? It can calculate that you're gay and kill you, but no one else. What about bisexuals? Do they only get sick every other day?
And they say it's a cancer, but you can't catch cancer. Cancer is not a thing that can get caught. It's not like a cold or a cough, it's cancer. It doesn't transmit. Because imagine it, gay cancer. How is a cancer gay? I mean, what does it look like? Is it pink? Where is it? Is it in the wrist? I mean, for God's sake.
Such an interesting monologue and almost in that one-shot take, isn't it?
It really is. That really sums it up. And this, of course, is written by and created by Russell T Davies, man behind lots of our great TV over the last couple of decades. It stars Ollie Alexander there, the lead singer of Years and Years, actually a cracking actor, it turns out. Set in the early 1980s, we kick off 1981. Bright new year, he's getting together with a gang of his young friends. They're finding their lives, their loves, their careers. But this is all set against the backdrop of the emergence of the AIDS virus. They're living in London in a flat share they call the Pink Palace. A lot of this is actually based on Russell T Davies' own experiences, particularly a group of friends he had who studied drama and lived in London in that period. So he's obviously based a lot of that on his own life, really, and things he saw going on. And of course, you know, you can't watch this without thinking of the parallel that's clearly going on now as a virus takes hold around the world. You know, clearly none of that was intended when Russell T Davies wrote this, but, you know, you see scenes with people in isolation, PPE, healthcare and authorities struggling to deal with this totally unknown virus, which at the time wasn't even widely called AIDS. It, you know, called other things. You hear it called GRID. There's lots of confusion. But yeah, this is really meaty. Clearly the topics I'm chatting about there aren't light, but this is also great fun, beautifully written, very funny, very moving. If you're not crying at the end of it, you will have a heart of stone. That's kicked off on Channel 4, but all 5 episodes are there available for you to binge right now, and it's definitely one I will be finishing this weekend.
This next one's out on Netflix, being streamed on Netflix, The White Tiger. It reminded me of Slumdog Millionaire. Let's take a look.
This was the master for me. I want to be a driver for your son.
Hey, how much rope?
Hey, don't do that.
Hey, driver!
I'm Pinky. Nice to meet you.
Balram, have you ever seen a computer?
We had many of them in the village with the goats.
The goats are pretty advanced to use computer.
Okay, now you're being a jerk.
This is based on the 2008 Booker Prize-winning novel, White Tiger. Big international film here, set in India. Stars Priyanka Chopra, who we saw there, and also the newcomer, Ardash Gaurav, who is getting rave reviews. People are saying he's a revelation, a great new leading man that we're going to be seeing quite a lot of. And as you said there, Gillian, there will be inevitable parallels with Slumdog Millionaire, because this is about a young driver who climbs his way up from working in poverty in rural India, works his way up to being a tech entrepreneur, a bit of a millionaire, but he doesn't use, shall we say, the most ethical of means. So yeah, there's definitely comparisons there. Although if Slumdog Millionaire is a bit of a rags to riches fairy tale, it has to be said that this has nightmarish elements in it. Yeah, definitely worth a watch, this one. This is there on Netflix for us now. We actually caught up with Priyanka Chopra and we chatted to her about why this was such an important film to be coming out now.
Well, I chased after this movie, actually. I read about it on Twitter in one of magazines, and I had read this book about a decade ago. I was very excited and profoundly moved by it. So when I read about the fact that it was being made by Netflix, I got my agents to call the producers and offered my services. And Pinky as a part has really developed in the movie, but I really wanted to be an EP on this to offer my support. My belief is to be able to get South Asian stories influxed into Hollywood. We don't see enough representation in global entertainment considering we're 1/5 of the world's population.
And this next one now, the investigation started on BBC Two last night. It's based on a true life story, the murder of Swedish journalist Kim Wall in 2017. Let's take a look.
Ja, meldingen er, at ubådsbyggeren er blevet reddet op.
Og journalisten?
Ja, det er der ingen melding om. Og er omkring kl. 19.00 sejlet ud i en hjemmebygget ubåd i forbindelse med et interview, men er ikke vendt hjem som aftalt.
Finn min dotter.
This is a true crime drama, but it does something very clever and something I've not seen done before. It takes the murderer out of the equation. This is not a drama about the man who killed the young journalist, Kim Wall. This is about the police officers that investigated it. This is about Kim's parents who helped to provide information to get him convicted for life. This is a beautifully made Danish drama by the director Tobias Lindhorn. Definitely does something very clever. It's anti-sensationalist, you know. You imagine if you look back to 2017, you can remember all the front pages. This is the opposite of that sensation, but gripping nonetheless. As you said, Gillian, that kicked off on BBC Two last night, but all of those 6 episodes are there for you to binge on right now. Heavy subject, but one, once you start watching, you will not be able to rip yourself away from.
Binging is the order of the day, isn't it? The only way
Definitely.
to watch. Definitely, thank you. And you can download this week's Backstage podcast wherever you get your podcasts from. Just search for Sky News Backstage.